Lander double bank buster on the draw. If they're aggressive at all, we might have some issues here. Orzhov. Unlicensed hearse. Alright, they're not that aggressive then. Get the bank buster down. If they can exile cards from graveyard, that doesn't really matter too much. Strip some of the damage potential off of the graveyard trespasser, but other than that, I'm not too worried about it. Takunim is only a 1-of in the deck. Greasefang Okubo boss. Alright. We are in for a ride here. We can just sack you though. Which I think is fine. I think that's okay. I guess. I wonder if they power up the hearse here. As a 0-0. Oh! I'm so sorry. I don't want to oops them because I feel like that's usually mean. Oh man, that hurts. They don't scoop though. They press on. Rightly so. Okay. Whew.
Knew this was a waste of time.
We can get one sleeper going, I think. It's fine. Take a draw on the other one. Draw on the bank buster rather. Play a sleeper, level it up once. Probably take the bank buster draw. Screw 3. Yeah, we can start there. Another Greasefang comes down. Transfer a vehicle card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Alright, so they get back the unlicensed hearse. Okay. Looks like they're going to power up the Surge Hacker Mech too. Okay. 5/5 Menace. Alright, that's some damage right there. And they get to return you. You're not that scary right now. 2 attackers. Whack us for 5. It's a good chunk of damage here. Well, we'd like an answer to the Okubo boss. What was that? I definitely missed whatever that was. Okay. So we'll level you up once. And we'll take one draw here, I think. We're looking for answers to the mech or the Okubo boss. Shouldered's pretty good in general. Almost certainly want to deploy the Shouldered. Leaves one man open. I don't think we want to trade the Shouldered. So we could attack with the Bank Buster instead. Take up to 9 points of damage on the way back. It's kind of interesting. That's a lot of points to take all at once. Could leave Shouldered back to block the Greasefang, I suppose. Yeah, let's try not to be too aggressive here. We'll leave back everyone for now. Just try to let Shoulder do its thing. Go down to 18. We'll start drawing cards on our turn. Get that life total back up. Okay, here comes the crew. They could have had something else to power it up, which would have hit pretty hard. We've got no blocks this turn. We could drop off the Bank Buster and the Sleeper, but I don't think that's what we want to do. No blocks, eat 5. Massacre for 2. Okay. Well, nothing we can do to protect the Sleeper. It's fine. Alright, well, we can exile the Okubo boss here, which I think is pretty good. Don't have an enchantment. And then drop the Trespasser as well. They don't have anything to power up the mech. It's going to feel pretty bad. Yeah, I think this is fine. Attack first. Drop the Trespasser. Could have potentially dropped the Trespasser first, powered up Bank Buster. We'll see if we want to block with it or not, though. Down to 12. Do they have something to power up the mech? Even so, we're doing pretty well in the race. It's going to take a lot of mana. Okay, that's a 3-powered creature. They need 4 to crew it. Yeah, that doesn't work yet. Play the hearse. All right, that also doesn't do it. Okay. Oh, we don't have enough mana to do anything. Draw a card. This gives them some pretty bad blocks. Take 8. Start here. Take an expensive draw. That's interesting. That puts through a lot of damage. I don't think we need to do that, though. I think they're pretty well on the back foot here. Let's just go crew 3. Crew you. Give him some really bad blocks. Maybe hold Infernal Grasp for our turn. Should be okay. Take the chump, okay. When it drops to 8. Resolve. But a very healthy life total. We hold Infernal Grasp. We hold the Roadside Reliquary. We could take a draw for 1, which is not bad. They're going to hearse our graveyard a bit. It's fine. Could have Takanuma there as well to get something back, but don't think that's where we need to be. We're so close to lethal. We basically just need to Infernal Grasp and get the rest of the way. Emperor comes down. Okay, well. Who are we exiling here?
Now you've done it. Hat's coming off.
I think we let it go. We could be a little fancy, try to kill it, and take away the 2 life from them, I think.
This is what you
But that's a little bit fancy. I think we just take the draw off the Reliquary. Cut down, alright, not perfect. Another land, not much one to see either. Well, we could get back to Liliana, which is only marginally useful. Probably take 1 draw here. Okay, not what we need to see. Probably going to take another draw then. Well, some answers. I'll take 1 more draw. Sure, we can take you out. Take their underdog, which is nice. They exile it anyway, okay. Emperor goes down. They're down to 1 card. Flip to Nightside. Play out a land, one of their only 2 cards. And they invoke Despair on us. Dang. Okay, fine. They draw up 2. Alright, we'll take a draw of our own. Sleeper's pretty good here. Sheoldred's very good here. Okay. I think we start here. Try to power up a Bank Buster. Okay, they can't crew it. That's fine. Drop down to 5. We can play out 1 sleeper and hold the Grasp or a Bank Buster. Or level up the sleeper. Okay. And here. Exiling more cards from the graveyard. That's fine. When it drops down to 3 now. Restoration of Ganja is not it. What else you got? Search Hacker Mech, I don't think is it either. I guess it picks off you, which is fine. So I think to win here, we just level up the sleeper. Yeah. Could also Takanuma, get back Shouldered, but I think just level the sleeper and attack. Or even the Bankbuster. All those combinations work. On the play, not too bad. Start with the Swamp, get ready to underdog on 2 up against Pat Water Sleeps. Tap land. Underdog comes down. Alright, Grixis. Probably going to see a dead underdog here. Now there is the option to take our own underdog off the chance that they turn 3, drop the vampire that wants to strip it from the graveyard. Alright, they don't play it anyway. I thought we'd see removal there, but we did not. No counterspell either. Interesting. Okay, they Flame Buzz now. Alright, that works pretty well. It's exiled. But there are no creatures in the graveyard for their turn 3 Grixis Vampire, whatever that guy's called. Corpse Graveyard Appraiser. Maestro's Charm. Alright. They drop off a Galvanic Iteration. We hit land, do nothing. Alright. Well, they have the counterspell. But, Galvanic Iteration. They want to, maybe they want to iterate into an Invoke Despair. How worth it is it to deploy this Invoke Despair? They didn't counter the Trespasser. They had the Flame Burst Bolt. Maybe they knew they'd Maestro's Charm. That's not very good. I think they would have countered the Trespasser if they had it. So I think they have to have top decked a counterspell since then. So we're going to go for it here. Okay, I think they top decked it because I think on our turn 3, they would have countered the Trespasser and not spent 1 mana on the Flame Blessed Bolt. So they have double negate is the next question. And we're about to find out. Or a hard counter with double blue. They don't. All right, so we redraw here, which is nice. Also deploy a sleeper, which is nice. A lot of land, though. Okay. To go back, they didn't necessarily top deck negate because it only counters non-creature spells. So they could have had it since turn 1, but we'll never know. All right, I think we... Man, it's a lot of mana to sink into the sleeper here. You could probably power it up twice safely and then sack the Reliquary. Just once. I don't have enough mana for that. Let's level you up once. There's a good chance you die. Probably take one more here, I think. All right. I want to bounce you now before we get the next trigger. That's fine. One to the top. All right. I think we drop the Bankbuster instead. Lands. And we'll end here. We'll try to take the draw. They're getting close. I think they want to Galvanic Invoke Despair. I think that's their game plan, which is quite fun. All right, we'll take our draw. We do kind of need to close out the game before they get to that point. All right, well. Drop the sleeper. Do we want to attack with the Bankbuster or keep drawing? It's interesting. Probably just keep drawing, I guess. Heck, we can even take one draw now. I think this is safe. We're going to draw anyway. We can start with it here. Trespasser. Yeah, I think this is probably better than the Reliquary. Definitely taking the iteration for sure. And I guess we'll take the Invoke Despair if somehow they have a way to leverage that. That was nice. All right, end here. That was pretty big. At least we're not going to see a Galvanic Invoke Despair, ideally. Could use Soul Transfer to get back the Trespasser if we just need to shove more pressure through. Flame Blessed Bolt there. Okay, we can't level it up enough. We don't have enough mana to save it. Invoke Despair again. All right, number 2. They're lining them up. It's a good card. Underdog's not bad. So, I don't think they have any creatures in their deck, I think, for the most part. I think we will take the draw off the Bank Buster, and potentially draw off the Reliquary as well this turn. Opponent drops a 6 here. I think we can end. Pretty close to dead. Liliana. Okay. Yeah, we'll end here. Alright, we'll see if they can get to lethal this turn. How much mana do they have? They could copy a Invoke Despair. Manual taps a Celestis instead. Alright, that can get him life. Alright, we'll take one draw here. Our own Invoke Despair. They probably have the counter to that, though. Fading Hope on the token, sure. Only have 3 mana left. We take the draw off the Reliquary. I think we do, because we have enough mana to do everything we want to do anyway. Just wanted to make sure that we could Invoke Despair, deploy the Underdog, basically do whatever we want this turn. Infernal Grasp, okay. So, I think we want to start with the Underdog, try to see if they'll answer that. We're down to 8. Down to 6. Go ahead and power up the Bank Buster this time. Okay. Dropping the 2, they probably have the counterspell, but I think we have to go for it anyway. Do we have any other options? Soul Transfer. Get back. Graveyard Trespasser for 1 more point of damage. I don't think that's it. Alright, I think we go for lethal here. See if they have Make Despair. Or Negate. Big score. Okay, they can still top deck Negate or Make Despair here. Scoop. Probably should have done this first, just so we had mana to pay for Make Despair, and then Underdog after. But I want to see if we get the Underdog through without removal. A little bit weird of a hand. We do have some options here. In either Infernal Grasp or Bank Buster, depending on the situation. We're on green, okay. Well, go ahead and drop the Bank Buster here. We don't know what they're doing yet. Second green. It's a Gala Greeters. Interesting. Underdog. Underdog's okay. Also lets us crew the Bank Buster here. Whack the opponent for 4. Not an awful sequence. See if we can Grasp plus Bank Buster draw this turn. Lone Speaker, they're ramping into something. They take the treasure here. Well, we're going to have Infernal Grasp or whatever they're ramping into. Focus Spirit not going to be amazing. Okay. Probably attack, take the draw, and Grasp this turn. They have a target for us. We could pick off the Lone Speaker, but I'd rather save the Grasp for whatever it is we're trying to kill anyway. 4, 5, 6 mana available. Play Silverback Elder. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Okay, that's fine. Whenever you cast a creature spell. I guess they could have a 1-drop here. So we might as well do this now. It's not even when it enters the battlefield, I guess. Okay. Okay. Take 1. Alright, take our draw here. Well. It's probably an Invoke Despair turn. It's a little bit underwhelming, but that's what we got. So let's give it to him. We do take 4. We do get to draw 2. We sack the Greeters. They already got most of their value out of it. A lot of land, man. Okay. Well, I don't think we're blocking, so we can crew you. We don't have enough mana to draw anyway. Get in for 4. Drop the opponent down to 5. That's all we got for the turn, though. Fistful of land, 10 lands. Let's go. Let's go, baby. All right, it's mono green, Crystal Grotto, one to the top. Elder returns. They're probably gonna want the 4 life if they can play another creature this turn. They can. All right. What do they pick here? They could destroy the Bank Buster too. They do. All right. They stay at 5 life though. How much mana do we have? It's a -4 Massacre. Doesn't quite get there. We start leveling up a sleeper. How much mana? Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. I think we hold on to the Massacre. It's going to be a couple more turns until we can actually take out the Elder, but it's probably our best bet at this point. Stomper. Alright, well. Gain 4 life again. Alright, that's not bad for us. We have 6 lands currently. Guess that's the 7th right now. So Stomper's online next turn. They play a pack leader. Okay. Gain 4 life again. They're really on that life train. Get in with the Jewel Thief. Yeah, I think we're taking this trade. Trespasser's interesting. Just trying to bridge the gap to a big enough Massacre to hit the Elder. So we can start here. Sure, we can take the Elder. Probably even drop the Trespasser this turn, or we can draw. Maybe an Underdog Rally, rather. It's the same ability. This is just a little bit cheaper. More land. Okay. Well, that's it for that turn. And you? Lone Speaker comes down. All right, not that scary, although it can power up one of these lands. Gain 4 life. Okay. Potentially, we're holding back the Elder here. Unless they get greedy. Just get in with you for 4. We could trade off the Sleeper. Probably take one more draw off it this turn. I think that's okay. No blocks, I think. Down to 11. Okay. So we can soul transfer the Elder now. -3 Massacre. Probably just wait one more turn. If we can survive, then I think we should. I think we're okay with that attacking. So we'll power up 2 3/3s here. We'll go block, take 3 6 9. Get down to 2, then Massacre next turn. I think that's okay here. No attacks. The Night Side. Does discourage some attacks. Plus we can level up the Sleeper. They hit land. That's pretty good for us. 2 attackers. Let's see what they do here. My turn. All right, we will take the draw. Okay. And we can take another draw. This card is so good in long games. Wow. I think now, maybe now we grass the Elder and just keep our Sleeper around. Seems fine. Yeah, I think we just go for -4 here. I think that's fine. Attack with the Glutton first. That gets in 2 damage. Yeah, let's try that. Take the Elder and the Thief. See if they want to block. Take the trade. That's fine. Alright, we'll just -3 Massacre then. And we'll take this draw. Potentially could have resequenced that. Potentially could have Massacred first and then Underdog and got in for a little bit more damage. But, alright, look at all this land. Scoop! Sleeper, dude. So good in late games. They just weren't able to turn the corner. On the draw, 3 land removal. Looks pretty good here. Ooh. Little mirror Black Lotus setup. I have the Soul Ring though. He's only got whatever this Fox Dragon is. Maybe Undead Cat. Alright. Decide to keep. They duress us off the bat. Probably take Invoke Despair, maybe. Okay. Interesting. Well, at least play something to deploy here. Sleeper on 1. Looks like it's going to get removed. Infernal Grasp immediately. Alright. Well, they know our hand pretty well. Third land. Do nothing. Drop the Trespasser into this. See if they want to go 2 for 1 here. Sure, we can take you. Maybe we should have taken our own sleeper. It's unlikely we get it back. And,
Consider yourself fortunate, our
so up to 5, okay.
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
Well, probably just dropping the sleeper this turn. What do they get here? They got their own Trespasser. Okay. Do nothing, we flip to Nightside. That only makes it a 4-4 though. Maybe just go sleeper this turn instead. Alright, we're going to attack you. I think this time we do take our own sleeper, especially because they're likely to play theirs next turn. Right, there's a chance we Takanuma and want to get it back, but it's not that likely. Alright, end here. We can either cut down or Infernal Grasp. Probably Infernal Grasp on a Trespasser. We'll see. Take another plus here, okay. They dropped the Trespasser, yep. Okay. Alright, I think we knock you out now, yep. Discard the cut down. Goes down. I don't even think they have stick here, right? I don't think so, so I think we get a free attack on the Sorin. I don't think we have to send them both at Sorin. Take you out. Alright, evolve you once. And evolve you a second time. Draw a card, more land, okay. Sorin's down, opponent's down to 9 life. We have a swamp and they know we have the grass. We did double spell, so... Or sorry, we didn't cast anything that turn, actually. So we flip back to Nightside. Soul Transfer on the sleeper. They don't want to give us any more card advantage. Banks Buster comes down. They can't block. Well, doesn't give us any more damage here. Attack face. Take out the Sorin. I think. Yeah, there's no other creatures to grab. Just in case they Takanuma. Well. At some point we could, the Nightside again. We could keep land to discard like a Liliana Plus or something. But... Cut down's a little bit outclassed at this point anyway. They take the manual draw. They got 5 mana open. They invoke Despair here. It's going to hurt pretty badly. They do. Yep. Yep. Okay. When it is down to 6, we hit more land. Do we save it for Liliana? I don't necessarily think so. Whew. Not good. Okay. Take their manual draw. If they invoke Despair again, it's going to feel pretty bad. It's an underdog instead. They are at 6. Not a hasty underdog. Is this worth taking out? Not even sure it necessarily is. We have plenty of mana, so we can wait. Well, that's just fine. It's really not that good, though. We can minus and use some removal, but it's not looking amazing. If anything, it's a buffer for the next Invoke Despair. That's probably my biggest justification for playing it. Because any creature they play, just the power up the Bank Buster, they can always send in the hasty underdog. We have answers to both of those, but it's a relatively large waste of resources. All right, they take the annual draw. Yeah, Bank Buster just outgrinding us this game. Drop Sorin, okay. They choose to minus, okay.
You deal with this annoyance.
All right. So I think our only way out of this is to hit Invoke Despair, basically. Or like a Shouldered. First off, I definitely don't mind doing this. We want to shut off their lifelink capabilities. If we do Invoke Despair, it would be nice to have 2 mana left over. So we're going to waste this here because we are playing to the top deck at this point. They got 5 cards in hand. They've got an underdog in the graveyard. They can outgrind us. That's not it. We'll take our plus, but we are playing for the top deck here. We're going to keep their board as empty as possible. Get as much damage through off Invoke Despair. Try to draw as much as possible. Play the underdog. That's fine. Take her down to 4. Liliana goes down. That's fine.
Whatever. Luck favors the foolish, after all.
Follow in
Okay. We still have lethal off Invoke Despair.
You can deal with my servant. I'm busy.
Don't get there. Might as well play it for the Liliana. Now we no longer have lethal because they attack with the 2/3 lifelinker, go up to 6, and then Invoke Despair doesn't get there alone. Killed the Ruin, okay. Yeah, that's probably the turn that killed us right there. Shouldered's pretty late. They have too much removal in the deck, so this probably will just immediately get removed. I'd be surprised if they had no answer immediately. Yep. They do go down to 2 or 4. Still don't really think we get there. Deploy the underdog, go down to 2. They leave themselves open to another top deck. Unless they play a Planeswalker here, or an enchantment. They Invoke Despair us and have lethal. Yeah. Alright, well, they triple Invoke Despair and we hit 0. Maybe they doubled. That's all it comes down to sometimes. 2 lander on the draw, Infernal Grasp. I think it's okay here. 1 on blue. That next land, that's pretty good. Stick by the opponent. I guess that's a march or a consider. Could be a march. Second land. Don't need to deploy the Meathook Massacre, I don't think. And here. Third land, do nothing. Alright, well, setting up for the Djinn next turn. I'm gonna play you out. Man, if they just drop the Djinn and we cut down, that's pretty good. They probably won't do that. If we have no targets, it's bad. I think we drop this. We can try an Infernal Grasp next turn. Probably counter this one, though. Oh, they don't. Okay. Flip into Dayside. Thirst for Discovery. All right. Dropping off both Fading Hope and Spell Pierce. 4th land. They slam the Djinn or not. They don't. Okay, they're looking for something a little bit better than that. We'll attack first. I guess strip their graveyard a bit. That actually matters. Okay, 2 cards down. It's a smaller Djinn, a more expensive Terror. We're stuck in mana here. We'll try to drop the Trespasser. Again, I'm surprised we didn't see the counterspell in the first one, but we'll see what happens here. Impulse. Okay. Still a good chance they counter it. And they scoop. Alright, I guess they had a really awkward draw. I don't know. Welcome to the post-game deck tech. Mono Black Control, one of the best decks in the format. The question is, what is the best way to build it? There are a couple of cards I am very certain about. I think you absolutely want 4 copies of the Sleeper in here. This card is absurd. It has the ability to scale throughout the entire game, and top decking it in a standstill, and when you can just level it up and just redraw your hand, is pretty ridiculous. So I think definitely 4 of in here over any other 1-drop, including Cut Down and the Concealing Curtains, and even the Okuba Underraid Boss or whatever, which is better in the aggro decks. Infernal Grass, I think you need to be able to answer the Djinns and the Shoulders of the World for underdogs. I think this card is very good. 2 mana, 3/2, does all the things, comes back, draws cards, at least 2 Bank Busters, maybe more. 4 Trespassers, I think, is critical in this format right now. Being able to remove things from the graveyard is great, and the 2-for-1 off trying to destroy it and ending up having to discard an extra card is very valuable as well. Shouldered is extremely important. It comes down and it changes the state of the game. There now is a clock. It has to be answered or the opponent loses, I think, at least 3. And then 4 Invoke Despairs. This card is just ridiculous. Often, many games come down to who can invoke the other opponent first, and can they invoke Despair chain into a subsequent invoke Despair? Probably at least one Masker. Cards I'm less certain about. Cutdown, even though the stats on untap.gg show that both your win rates when you have this in the opening hand and when you play it are very high, I am not crazy high on it. It doesn't really answer the things I need to answer. Using the cutdown on the opponent's underdog never really feels that good because you went down a card and they can just replay the underdog. It's pretty good against Kiki Jiki, although you can only take out that first effect, not the subsequent ones. Counterspells are much better in that sense. And it doesn't take out Shouldered or the Trespasser, which is kind of the things that you actually have to start answering. So honestly, I would be fine taking this down to 2. So you have 6 1-drops in the deck, and the card I go up on is probably Sorn. I do love Shouldered, but this card can come down. If unanswered, just plussing every turn drawing is very powerful in relatively slow, grindy formats like this one. One of Soul Transfer is fine, right? You're not likely to draw it early. By middle later of the game, you have the ability to have drawn it by that point, which can answer things like the 7-mana Green Titan, which need to be exiled essentially if they have the shield counter. 3 Liliana's, I think, is fine. If you're on the play and you go Sleeper, Underdog, Veil, they sack their creature, you're in a very strong aggressive stance. So I like that, but I'm not mind blown by her. And then Masker, I think at least 2. You could go up to 3, but this card isn't right for every single situation. I think just having 2 to draw it later in the game is fine, and you can maybe fit in another Bank Buster there if you wanted to. But I think the configuration right here is quite solid. Why are people running Field of Ruin? Leave in the comments if you know why people are running Field of Ruin. Unless you really think that your opponent is running no basics, maybe they are, and you think there is a single turn of the game where if you use this to strip their land, you're actually going to come out on top versus spend your mana on anything else, let me know. But I think you either want to go Roadside Reliquary or Crystal Grotto. Crystal Grotto gives you immediate Scry effect, which is nice. And the Roadside Reliquary gives you the ability to draw, which you saw in many games throughout the day was quite useful. So I'm pretty high on the Reliquary. If you have both an artifact in the form of the Bank Buster or a treasure token, an enchantment in the form of the Masker, then you can just draw 2 cards, which is very good. So I'm high on this card. I think about 22 Swamps, 1 Tokenim, and 2 Reliquaries will get you there. That's the deck. If you enjoyed today's video, then please consider hitting that like button, the subscribe button, and leave a comment. I'm Dr. Ruckus, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.